What if the reason people don't approach you first has nothing to do with your looks, your status, or even your confidence, but everything to do with something invisible you're unknowingly projecting? Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and stick around till the very end, because what you're about to hear might completely change your love life. Let me tell you a story. A few years ago, there was a guy named Armin. Not particularly tall, not rich, not famous, just average. The kind of guy you'd pass by without noticing. But something strange kept happening to him. People would walk up to him. Strangers would start conversations. Women would smile first. Even in crowded rooms, he never felt invisible. One night, his friend finally asked him, "What's your secret? Why does everyone talk to you first?" Armin paused, smiled, and said, "I stopped trying to be noticed and started becoming impossible to ignore." That sentence stuck, because most people are doing the exact opposite. They chase attention. They try too hard. They signal neediness without realizing it. And ironically, the more you want people to approach you, the less they do. Today, I'm going to walk you through 10 powerful, almost philosophical suggestions inspired by Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor known not just for power, but for deep understanding of human nature. These aren't pickup tricks. These are shifts in mindset that naturally pull people toward you without begging for attention. Let's begin. First, master your inner world. Marcus Aurelius believed that your external reality is a reflection of your inner state. If your thoughts are anxious, needy, or desperate, people feel it. You don't have to say a word. Your energy speaks first. Think about Armin. He wasn't scanning the room thinking, "Will someone talk to me?" He was grounded, present, at peace with himself. When you stop needing validation, something strange happens. You become magnetic. People are drawn to those who don't seek approval because it signals strength. So instead of asking, "How do I get them to talk to me?" ask, "What energy am I bringing into this space?" Second, detach from outcomes. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. If you walk into a room hoping someone specific notices you, you've already lost. Marcus Aurelius taught detachment, not indifference, but freedom from outcomes. When you're overly attached, you become tense, predictable, even uncomfortable to be around. But when you genuinely don't care whether someone approaches you or not, you relax, your body language opens, your eyes soften, and ironically, that's when people start noticing you. Third, become deeply curious about others. Most people are trapped in their own heads. Do I look good? Am I interesting? What should I say? But Marcus believed in shifting focus outward. When you become genuinely curious about the world around you, your presence changes. Armin wasn't trying to impress anyone. He was observing, listening, interested. People can feel when someone is present versus when someone is performing, and presence is rare. That's why it attracts. Fourth, embrace stillness. In a world where everyone is trying to be loud, flashy, and attention-grabbing, stillness stands out. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about the power of calmness, a quiet confidence that doesn't need to shout. Imagine two people in a room. One is constantly moving, talking loudly, trying to be seen. The other is calm, composed, comfortable in silence. Who do you think people are more curious about? Stillness creates intrigue. It makes people wonder, what's going on in their mind? And curiosity is the first step to attraction. Fifth, remove the need to impress. Here's something counterintuitive. The more you try to impress, the less impressive you become. Marcus believed that authenticity outweighs performance. When you're trying to impress, you're not being real. You're presenting a version of yourself you think others will like. But people are incredibly good at sensing that. Armin never tried to be the funniest, the smartest, or the most interesting. He was just himself. And that authenticity made people feel safe to approach him. Because when you're real, others don't feel judged. Sixth, cultivate quiet confidence. Confidence isn't loud. It doesn't brag. It doesn't seek attention. Marcus Aurelius defined true strength as self-control, humility, and inner stability. Think about it. When someone is truly confident, they don't need to prove anything. They walk differently. They speak less, but with intention. They don't rush to fill silence. That kind of presence draws people in because it communicates one powerful message. I'm enough as I am. Seventh, accept rejection before it happens. This might sound strange, but it's incredibly freeing. Marcus often reminded himself that things won't always go his way. And that's okay. If you walk into a room already okay with the possibility that no one talks to you, you remove pressure, and when there's no pressure, there's no desperation, and when there's no desperation, there's attraction, because people are drawn to those who don't fear rejection. Eighth, refine your body language. You don't need to say anything for people to decide whether they want to approach you. Your posture, your eye contact, your facial expressions, they're constantly sending signals. Marcus Aurelius emphasized awareness, being conscious of how you carry yourself. Are your shoulders slouched? Are your eyes avoiding contact? Do you look closed off? Or do you appear open, relaxed, approachable? Armin had one simple habit. He made brief, warm eye contact and gave a slight smile. Not forced, not exaggerated, just natural, and that tiny gesture invited people in. Ninth, become comfortable with solitude. Here's something most people overlook. If you can't enjoy your own company, why would others? Marcus spent a lot of time alone, reflecting, writing, understanding himself. He didn't fear solitude. He valued it, and that made his presence more meaningful. When you're okay being alone, you don't cling to people. You don't chase attention. You choose connection instead of needing it. And that difference is powerful. 10th, focus on becoming, not attracting. This is the core of everything. Most people focus on, how do I attract others? Marcus Aurelius would say, focus on who you are becoming, because when you become someone grounded, authentic, calm, and self-aware, attraction becomes a byproduct. Armin didn't wake up thinking, how do I get people to talk to me today? He focused on living well, thinking clearly, being present, and as a result, people naturally gravitated toward him. Now let's bring this all together. Imagine walking into a room with no need to impress, no fear of rejection, no attachment to outcomes. You're calm, observant, comfortable in your own skin. You make eye contact. You smile slightly and then you go about your business. No forcing, no chasing. And suddenly, someone walks up to you, not because you begged for attention, but because your presence invited it. That's the shift. It's not about doing more. It's about removing what doesn't belong, neediness, fear, overthinking, and letting your natural self come forward. Because deep down, people aren't attracted to perfection. They're attracted to authenticity, calmness, and quiet confidence. So the next time you find yourself wondering why no one approaches you, don't look outward, look inward. Ask yourself, what energy am I carrying? Because once you change that, everything else follows. And remember, the goal isn't to make everyone talk to you, it's to become the kind of person people want to talk to. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.